And, hello and welcome to Clan Corner, the show that features the clan from Guns of Icarus. I'm Abby the Rat, and with me today, I have members from the Bully Boys. I'm totally not allowed, so not bullying me, okay? So with me today, we have Brick, the leader of the Bully Boys, and co-founder.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. My name is Brick Carcastle, and I'm in control of the Bully Boys, because I'm the leader. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Gab, second in command, and he's also a community ambassador.
I'm Halo Gam, or my real name's Andrew. I'm second in command of the Bully Boys. I've been a member for close to 7-8 months now, and I'm also a community ambassador, as she just said. Yeah.
And then finally, we have Rathburn. Jeff Rathburn.
Hey, I'm the substitute panda. She couldn't be here. So, I'll do my best to be cute and adorable.
With that hat. Show that hat.
Alright.
With my
Put on your Serbian accent and put on the hat. There you go.
Hello!
Oh, okay.
No, it doesn't work. It's too much.
Signor Rathburn.
Okay, so before I get into the clan questions, there was some confusion last week about the Timmy B tournament and the Major League Gaming charity tournament. They are separate events. The Timmy B, the sign up closes today, so if anyone wants to join in, you have to sign up today, and it will be starting this weekend for the first week. The NLG charity tournament is still in the planning stage, so if you want to offer any suggestions, talk to someone. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It used to be Oli Man, it's now Aliaska? Something like that. Timmy B is a 3 versus 3 ship tournament, sort of thing. It's a fun and friendly event hosted in the memory of Timmy B, who passed away last March. Okay, so we're moving on to Clan Corner. And as we did with every other Clan Corner, if you have any... Okay, so someone just mentioned in chat. Alias Guy?
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, so every past Clan Corner, we can ask the questions in the Twitch chat, and near the end, or sometimes in between, I will ask the questions from the chat. Okay, onwards. Oh, you guys, put away the pea shooter, look sharp, eye forward, and answer these questions. What's the Bully Boys all about?
Brick.
Right, well, originally, I would say it was about a bunch of lads coming together, the oddballs and weirdos and mavericks, Guns of Icarus, all coming together to play Guns of Icarus as skillfully and in the most sportsmanlike manner possible. But though it is that, I think it's also grown to so much more than that. I think the friendship and brotherhood and sisterhood, case of Panda, that I have with all these wonderful people, I feel that's what the clan is about. Friendship and having fun with your friends. What do you guys think?
It's for friends who do stand together, you and me. And it's for anyone.
It started out as what Brick said, a Guns of Icarus oriented gaming group, but then at this point it has grown into a family of sorts where we're all close friends. We all have a great amount of trust in each other to be there through issues, both in-game, out-of-game, real life, everything. It's grown into quite a family.
What's the meaning behind the Bully Boys?
Right. Basically, as I think you mentioned earlier, sort of Bully Boys is a kind of a turn of the century term for
Oh, Brick lagged.
Oh.
Yep. We lost Brick.
Oh dear, we lost Brick.
Lusper.
Basically, he was about to say, I think, was that and everyone's just over. Okay, so basically that the Bully Boys is based on an old-fashioned crime gang. So like.
More or less.
Brett would explain this much better than I would. I understand it, but trying to explain it. Can you explain it, Westburn?
I'll
You hear me?
he's back now. He can do it.
I'm
I did my
sorry.
magic. I did my work.
Anyway, basically,
Use
as
the
I was
mob
saying-
powers.
as I was saying, kind of this, I sort of envision that in law terms, the Bully Boys to be kind of like this sort of gang with kind of these political aspirations, like the Bot Street Gang in Dishonored, or the Natives in gangs in New York. And I thought, it was just a quite sort of steampunky, but kind of quite edgy. And also I quite liked how the bully's got a double meaning. So on one hand, bully means kind of good, spiffing, jolly good. But on the other hand, it means like, if you mess with us, we don't want to do that. So that's basically the name.
There is a big overarching bare knuckle boxing theme mixed in there too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. So, how did the Bully Boys started?
Right. Well, basically, it started when a man named Brick Hardcastle and a man named Gilder Unfettered, who just Gilder at the time, met during a game. It was his much beloved 1.1 Squid and my much beloved Pyramidion, the Algernon. We fought each other over a series of incredibly epic battles. He killed me a few times, I killed him, and there's a kind of a grudging respect there. It's like, you're good. You're good. Want to start a clan? Yeah, that sounds good. And so, yeah, me and Gilder just decided to, start a clan, get competitive, see where it goes, see where it went. And, in a nutshell, yeah, that's basically how it started.
Yeah.
Well
So, when did you join in, Hand of Gab?
I joined around the beginning of this past February. I think February 6th is the exact date, if I remember correctly. I was brought in by a clan member named Andros when I was taking a break from Guns of Icarus, and then the day that I got back into it, I happened to cross a lobby with Brick and Gilder and Andros and another member, Daft. They were all just pubbing around, and I was on the enemy team, and they wrecked my ship a couple times, and then I managed to kill one of them once, and then I was like, they play good. They seem to be close.
Oh, so
And-
you managed to kill them once? Oh, you guys are not doing very well then.
No, I was a lot less experienced, I should say back then, and I figured, why don't I just try and see if I can join them? And then I asked Andros, how does one get involved in that group of people? And then he pointed me to Brick, and then here I am.
So what about you, Westburn? When did you get in?
This is a good story.
This is a long story. This all started back in Cox Season 1, where I was with the Gents, I believe at the time, and I was not really actually competing because I was put out of the competitive team. So that actually, no, I think I left the Gents at that point. Anyways, I was not part of the Gents. I was watching the streams, and I got really, really bored sometimes because I wasn't fighting myself, so I didn't have anything to do, and I didn't really have anything to comment on, so I decided that, hey, I was going to put together the casters and do /fictions and just like mess around in the stream. At some point, a startup team I found for the first time started in the Cogs, which is called Black Flight Squadron. I thought they're pretty cool guys. So I didn't have anything to do. The match was taking long. I started making fact fictions about them. Then, like, half a year after, I actually got to, like, together and played a few games with Brick and all that on the enemy team. And it was the entire BFS squadron, or the Black Flag squadron, just on the enemy team. I was flying against them. And they wrecked me really, really terribly. So I got really mad at them. And we slaughtered each other. And then I was invited to the Mumble. So a few months...
Tell them what you called us. You can swear once. It's okay. Swear once?
Okay. Black Flag squadron. More like bullshit squad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, a few months went with I was allowed on the Mumble and we had a lot of fun. At some point, I decided I was going to leave my current clan and I'm going to come over to them. And from there on out, it's been great.
Okay. Now I understand that the clan runs in a special way. What's that about?
Yeah, well, the joke goes, it's not a democracy; it's a bricktatorship. but of course, I don't see myself as a dictator or a bricktator.
Oh, sure. I think you got the look for it.
Oh, oh,
Oh, I think you got the look for it.
yeah. So, I mean, I see my job to kind of make sure, delegate stuff, make sure these guys get along, and make sure that everyone can kind of have fun in their own way, whether it's casual, whether it's competitive, whatever.
Okay. Do you guys agree with this?
Leader,
well-
yes, the leader for lifetime. I agree with him. He's completely right.
Well, Brick does a great job of leading us. I do firmly believe that. And this past month, when he went away to Japan because he wanted to run away from us, he left
Right.
me in charge. And I can say that running a clan as big as the Bully Boys is no easy task. But I mean, I have a great respect for Brick and what he does for us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome. So the Pretty Boys run a competitive team. Is it sort of like a separate entity within the clan, or what's it about?
Well, basically, that's how it always used to be. I mean, there was the Ducks, that was the clan, right? And they had their little teams, like the Brood, the Raft, etc., the Mandarins, whatever. And, that was because, so they could enter separate teams in the same event. Because they had too many members just to have, one team. And, originally, Black Flight Squadron was just supposed to be the first of many teams. But getting, enough people to consistently have more than one team is a lot more difficult than before. So Black Flight Squadron is basically our one and only competitive team that we've had. But one day we will have more. I mean, unless you count, actually, Haven, but I can talk about that later.
Okay, so you managed to form this team in time to join the 100 Duck Games against the Brood?
Yes.
This was way back in the early 2013.
Early 2013, yeah.
How successful do you feel your team been?
I feel reasonably successful. I mean, it's not like, we haven't dominated the scene completely, but we won some good matches against some good teams. We won the Sky Tournament. I'll talk more about that later. We won some titles, but I won't talk about that.
Okay.
And, I think we've done pretty well. And we've introduced some interesting new strategies and things to the meta, but I'll talk more about that later as well.
So, after that, you managed to join the tail end of the Cogs, the first season Cogs?
Yes, that is true.
What happened in that?
Basically, we stormed onto the scene with a 5-0 victory over the Musasaurs. The first ever time the Squid had ever been in competitive play. We were like, yay, awesome, woohoo, and then we lost to Polaris, and then we lost them again in the final tournament.
I think
So,
Polaris was probably one of our earliest rivals, wasn't it? Given how much.
Yeah, Polaris were bloody good rivals. They were just kind of like, they were the Ivor Drago to our Rocky. I'd be constantly thinking of ways to defeat these sort of cold, hard, incredibly skilled Russian guys. And, I love Polaris. Great rivals. Love them.
Okay, so... And then later on, you took on the Sky Tournament in May. And I believe you successfully taken first place. So how did that feel? What was it like?
That was a feeling of pure joy and ecstasy that just everything we worked for finally come to fruition and we won a major tournament at last. And that was great. It really was.
Yeah, so at this point, we still haven't had Halo Gab or Westburn.
Yes,
No.
I was not in yet.
You guys haven't joined yet.
I was lurking around in the community because that's about the time that I actually got Guns of Icarus and I started playing it, and I had seen some of the matches being, put up over the internet.
Yeah, okay, so after that you had Cox 2, Cox Season 2, and apparently you fell out in the first round. What gone wrong?
Well, what happened in the Cogs 2, we managed, in the first week, we managed to defeat the Gents and the Merrymen. That was pretty awesome. We managed to beat Polaris again, which was great, and we managed to kind of get our shot at the paddling. We lost to the paddling, which everyone else was doing at the time. Then we managed to stay there, and we lost to the paddling again. And then we went on to the final tournament. We lost to the paddling again. But we did get a kill.
Okay, one easy kill, huh?
Yes.
Just one!
Oh,
We're still fighting!
Paddling.
That doesn't classify it as a stomp then.
No,
Yeah.
no. Paddling
fought
was just...
well.
the Westburn says shush about this. Oh.
Yeah,
We're murdering
take that,
it.
Golden Blade. You're not the only moderator in the chat.
Yeah, so I mean that's how that turned out. But I mean that was the kind of the time that we kind of pioneered the infamous and the Sky Tournament, the infamous merc sniping, the long merc sniping matches, which of course are always incredibly popular within the community. Sorry.
There's-
Love a good old 30 minutes match where you win based on kills.
As
Yeah,
controversial as it is, I much prefer a long, drawn-out sniping match with the gens than a quick punch-kick match that's over in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's value for money. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the long range sniping. I prefer to get up in your face. I will get up in your face.
Well,
I
I do.
I like sniping matches for two reasons. One of them, if I'm playing, it feels passionate. I get really, really into it because the longer it takes, the more like anticipated, or the more like sort of afraid of the fight you get. You really want to get into it, and you really get it with it because it's with you. And the second is when I'm in the chat, it's fun to make fun of.
I mean, there was a lot of like tension building up to the times we actually do go in, and that really makes it really emotional.
And then there's Gilder with his Merc Rams on the pier.
Yeah, which actually work sometimes.
Sometimes they do.
Which is-
But it's that all or nothing moment where you're like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? And then when it works, it's great. But when it doesn't work, we're like, well, crap.
Yeah, so the red team just won their match. It was a five kills to 2, and it's from the Junes.
That Junker's name is very nostalgic.
Okay, so after after Cox 2, Aerodame was started by Gilder and Fetid.
Yes.
He
The Aerodrome.
was the creator, and also a co-founder of the clan, as you mentioned earlier, Brett. And obviously being a co-leader, so you guys helped him out. What's it all about?
The Aerodrome was all about kind of trying to bring a sort of a bit of a narrative to the tournament, and also to kind of put more focus on the 3v3 capture point events. And I like to think it did both of those pretty well. And Gilder, let me tell you, Gilder put a huge amount of effort into getting the trailer right and getting all the story right, and just getting everything going. And just loads of respect for Gilder for that. I mean, I think the Aerodrome, I mean, there was some lag problems because it's 3v3s, had tricky servers, but I still think it was a good tournament. People had fun, and I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Yes, the first Aerodrome I felt was a big success. I worked behind the scenes as a scorekeeper, referee, organizing the lobbies in pregame, and the main thing that I liked about it was it had a more of a role playing aspect to it, I guess, because it was the story of Yesha, Anglia, and the baronies, and the conflict within the lore between these countries that exist in the world of Guns of Icarus. And I previously was the North American roleplay community organizer for Guild Wars 2, and that's why I anything that has sort of a role-play-ish character development story aspect to it, I'm immediately drawn to.
Okay. Now, in the first Aerodome, the Blackfight Squadron avoided attending Aerodome in order to avoid any bias. Do you think next time you'll be able to attend, if you could create a separation between organizers and players?
I personally don't think we should be able to win, in any sense, our own tournament.
Yeah.
But I do think it would be fun. I don't know if maybe we were kind of a mercenary team that's just kind of like a boss or something.
Yeah, I feel like
just kind of we can't actually win, but we can maybe make things a bit more difficult for the participants somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have
like-
to ask Gilda later on, because Gilda, he's going full tilt for the
Yeah,
second.
he's
Gilda's
really going out with
Gilda's the head honcho for the Aerodome. An Aerodome team is coming out in November. The next Aerodome 2 is coming out in November. And in September, I will be having a special episode of Ken Corner just purely for Aerodome and Aerodome 2. So that's something to look forward to for everyone watching.
Since I am on the organizing committee, I can say one thing that, in the sense of planning our role in the story, we are going to be playing the evil bad guys who are instigating the conflict within the entire world, pretty much. So I guess that does make us a boss in some ways.
So any teasers? Any more teasers for the Aerodome coming out? I mean,
we
you
do
can
have
tell-
a
you can tell
trailer.
us, come on.
We have a trailer.
We have a
coming.
trailer that, if you'd be able to play it.
Yeah, I should be able to, but
And we're all
the way with
other
that.
reasons.
We could play it afterwards if you like.
Yeah.
Yes, what? It's actually hard to talk to and do this at the same time sometimes.
Yeah.
After the Aerodome, there was the Sky League. Did you feel that things were running against you in this tournament?
Now, the thing about the Sky League is that, we ended up in a group of 5. All the other teams were in groups of either 4 or 3. That was pretty difficult, and we were also in the same group as our sparring partners, the Gents and the Mad Hatters. And I mean, we managed to win one match against Volware, I think. But we tried to, and when we went up against the Gents and the Mad Hatters, I mean, they like to do the full-on sniping stuff that we do, and respect to them for that. And we had two really long, really grueling matches with them, and each time we lost 4-5 by just a little sliver of health, and those are really good matches.
Yeah.
And just congratulations to the Gents and the Hatters. Just had the edge on us on that night. Fair play to them.
Yeah. Some of those matches, it was really down to almost like a coin flip. It could really have gone on either way, but of course they did show that they had indeed the skill to win. So nice job by them.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were definitely close matches at the end, though. If I recall correctly, they were both lost by 5-4 by pixels of permahull.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was done in the.
I mean,
Nice.
I say good game, it's jolly good, but at the time I was going,
Yeah. Oh no, we had the full on a hurricane of rage just coming through. It was like, oh no, London's going to explode.
oh well.
Although I will say it wasn't rage against the gents. We do have the utmost respect for them. It was just like, what could we have done better? How could we have performed better? But the gents are great clan, and we have the
Great
utmost
clan,
respect
great
for them.
Okay, I got the video up so over here, so I'm just gonna start playing it.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's go watch it.
TDB Studio. And also the Robin
We
Dance
got,
Show.
we got a studio now. Yeah.
Yeah, we just bought it like recently.
Never would have
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that
If you just look at Westbend and you're watching the trailer, Bev you.
would be able to bring so much
What?
destruction.
Oh, I should turn that after everyone. There you go.
Oh, you know we are not all simple. I take it you enjoyed the show.
You're quite right, Privateer. We did. Take it you're ready for the next step.
Is the fleet ready?
Close. The Baron are preparing the people, her allies are falling in line, and now it's only a matter of time.
Just say the word and we'll deliver.
Then I charge you, avec l'autorité des Barons. Bring us surprise. Deliver us our quarry. Give us the sweet retribution that is rightfully ours.
And our agreement?
I do believe Faberia will have a new Baron soon.
Excellent. Retribution shall be yours.
Okay. There you go. That's the little treason, and I will link it in the Twitch chat right now, so everyone can watch it on a much larger screen. There you go.
There we go.
So that's the trailer. So that's actually a very quite an interesting one to watch.
Yes.
Oh.
The voice acting work I felt was very good. I was present for a lot of the line recording.
Yeah.
And they put their heart and soul into it.
Okay, so the clan had a very long history. So it's been around for quite a while. Now we can finally come to the latest tournament, which is the Hippocrates Challenge, which is sadly got knocked out in the first round of the silver playoff. If we ignore the issue with the server, as we heard with that last Clan Corner, there was a lot of lag at the beginning. There was a few issues, and it wasn't until a couple of, I think it was 2 hot patches later, when everything finally settled down, they managed to get things smoothed out. Is there anything you felt that you could have done better?
Lots of things, you know. I mean, I feel that in our first match against Overwatch, I mean, I did kind of underestimate their build a bit, but it turned in my favor when I ripped it off later. So yeah, I mean, that was a shame. Also, I kind of got a bit confused about when the game was paused and when it wasn't, and I had Hydra on while I was typing for clarification. Herp.
I remember I was yelling at you, turn Hydro off! Turn Hydro off!
Yeah. And our second match against HRA, I mean, we were winning that match for like 95% of the time. And like only like right at the very end, HRA just came in with this great charge. And instead of kind of trying to get them back, I think we should have spawned further away and just either gone for a draw or just seen what happens. We just spawned right back into them, and Gilda kind of rubber banded into that Pyramidian's arcs and got murdered, and oh yeah, that sucked. But yeah, I mean, I would have played that match actually a bit more cautiously, I think. But you know, that's all fine in retrospect. And the third week, unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there. I wish I could have been there, but I wasn't so, oh well.
It makes it different when you don't have the regular team together.
Yeah, a bit.
That was
Yeah.
when Gilder and Daft, I
With
believe, right?
Rathburn and Henniker, were you in these matches too?
Yeah, go on,
I-
guys.
Yeah.
You go first.
So okay, I actually didn't get to go in for the Hephaestus just for the start because I don't think I was on for I was available for the times where we started up against Overwatch. But against the other matches, I was in as the gunner on the Artemis on the Perimedian, which I really felt was a really dumb idea when I saw it the first time. I was just like, no, we're not doing this, guys. Come on.
That was mine and Brick's build.
Yeah. But I got onto the Artemis, and we were in Labyrinth the first time we were playing.
Yeah, that was
Art.
against the against the Art of
Cool.
Warfare.
Yeah, Out of
Yeah.
Warfare. And I was like, I played around with it. I found out really early on that I could actually hit the shots with the Artemis, and it was doing sufficient enough damage that we could actually like disable them, get them down, and like dominate that engagement the first time around. So I got confident with it, and I felt like this was a really good build. So we brought it on for the next week as well. That was next time was, or actually was it that next time? Was it?
Let me just rewind a little bit, like, right?
Okay.
So the fourth week we went up against Sirs, like lost 4-5, a very close match, but I just think that just the Sirs, the accuracy of their Hades gunning in that match was just unreal, and props to them for that. And then yeah, that's the fifth or sixth week. I think it was a bye week there. It was, yeah, like you said, when we brought out the Carronade Artemis Pyramidion against Tor, and then Gilder kind of had his mad licorice all sorts junker, and we went into it thinking, is this going to work? And it did.
Yeah.
we
It
did.
did.
Yeah.
Go on.
And after that was when we had the infamous 0-0 match with Sacrilege on Dunes. Now,
Infamous. Still getting backlash from it.
Yeah. Right, for the record, I don't think either us or Sacrilege went into that match thinking, oh, let's make this a really boring draw with nothing happening. That's not how it happened. I guess it's just they thought that we come to them, we thought they'd come to us, we thought we could get them in one situation, but they already had planned ahead, and it would just be two conservative builds, and we just couldn't get an angle on each other. It happens. It happened once, and it's probably never going to happen again.
Yeah. Okay.
And, yep, go on.
Sorry, I thought you were. Just move on slightly because
Oh, okay, I'll be really quick. And then, we managed to get our victory against Cake in week 8. That was really good. Tomatoes really spot on with his minds. Had a really innovative build. Then we lost to Cake in the finals. And, fair play, good team, etc., etc.
Yeah. What about you, Heidegger? Anything you want to add before I move on to the next question?
Yes. After I joined the clan, I had been training to be one of Brick's main crew members, gunners, and he helped me a lot along the way, taught me a lot about the game. And going into Hephaestus, we had a rough kickoff to Hephaestus for a variety of reasons, personal, game related, whatever. But it is what it is. But going into the second half of the season, I felt we performed a lot stronger, and at that point, it was less frustrating because Muse had done a lot more work with the netcode. And going into the match against Taw, I was initially a little confused about the Artemis Carronade front Pyramidion that Brick was running, but when I thought more about it, I figured, you know what, why don't we just give it a shot? Let's just roll with it, see what happens. And it worked out very well. Rathburn did great on that Artemis, and I was using the front Carronade next to him, and I felt that we performed great together. Love you, Rathburn. And
Love you too.
and it was kind of it got our minds back on track for going into the second half of the tournament, which I felt was a thing we really needed, because we had some difficult losses in the beginning, and morale wasn't as high as it could have been. So that win definitely gave us, the boost that we needed to go into the Sacrilege match and the Cake match. And although like Brick said, the Sacrilege match didn't turn out the way that most people wanted it to, at the end of the day, we felt that we performed decent enough, and Sacrilege performed decent enough, and we don't really have any regrets about it personally. At least I don't.
Yeah.
And then the match after that against Cake, I felt was definitely a great match. There was a lot of screaming on our ship going into that final ram against the Goldfish, like our inertia forward, because we had no engines at that point, kind of just like half-assed bump into them that won the match for us. The entire match was just very action-packed, always on the edge of our seats, and you know, we've always been close with Cake. We consider them to be good friends of ours, and we felt that that was a good match for us and a good match for them. And then when they came back and beat us in the Silver playoffs, there was, of course, no hard feelings. They're good friends of ours. So after they beat us, we told them, you know, we'll be right up there cheering for you to win. So
Love Cake.
I personally don't have any regrets about.
So,
lot of
Golden
things in this
Glade
tournament.
a moment ago just said bromance. I don't know. I think between
No,
you, Helioglobe, and Brick, but okay. Well, have you got a dream there?
Rethbren and I have something special that no one can understand.
Yeah, exactly, and it's also why I'm going to New York in January to engage with him.
Now I get to watch them on
I'm
top
going
deck.
to get engaged with him. So
Sure.
over
Anyone wondering why Rethbren's not talking so much during the stream? It's because I put him on a Elysian collar.
yeah, I contrary to what I actually am as a moderator, I'm a foul mouth. I'm a terrible person generally, so I try to keep quiet, just say the right things and people likes. Otherwise, they kill me.
Apparently, Golden Glade had a video for this. But I think we move on for now.
Yes. Let's move
So,
on.
so does the clan have any, or the team, or rather, because that's what you use, is there any plan for future events? Like, are you going to join in the Major League charity tournaments? And will you be in the Team EB tournaments? And whatever comes up?
We have a team set up for the TMP tournament, I believe.
Yes, I believe
Yes.
Gilder is the one who is
Yes.
organizing that, and he's entering a ship.
Yeah, we're entering one ship for the
Can
tournament.
we tell them the name of the team that Guild has entered?
Yes, we can tell the name.
Bricks Sundari Waifus. So they're competing in the tournament, but not because they like you or anything, baka.
Yeah.
You know? So that should be fun.
I too am
Yes.
part of that crew.
Oh. Well, I wish you all the best of luck in poop hats.
But anyway, like as for other future plans, I mean, I think we just got to kind of, take a rest after Hephaestus, see where we are, and then we'll see where we are for the future competitive events.
Yeah. Where do you see the clan in 1 year's time or in 5 years' time?
I think we'll have grown exponentially. And
Well,
I
we're all
think,
dead and Brick's the only one left.
So you're hoping
Yep.
to go from
Yeah.
this to being this big?
Yeah, well, I think in terms of just kind of membership and just the size and the scope of the community, we've just suddenly just grown and grown and grown and grown. I mean, I just hope that'll continue.
I
Yeah.
believe we're at
Well,
80 members right now.
Yeah.
There's
so-
there's a very certain process going in through the Bullet Boys, and of course it's going to understand it's first of all understanding other people in the group and learning how they act as people, weaknesses, strengths, and we actually have a really low amount of people leaving the clan because the ones who come in, they're forged in that flame and they join us more or less permanently because it takes a special person to be us.
We do our best to make our new members and new recruits feel as welcome and part of the family
Indeed.
as possible.
Okay, so now we come to the personal question section, where we ask the question to the players about themselves, as with last Clan Corners or every future Clan Corner. We start with the basic Guns of Icarus questions. What's your favourite match and why?
Dunes.
I thought
Dude, oh jeez.
I
Oh,
thought we had an order in this, didn't we? Was it Halo first? Oh, it was me first.
We had
Okay.
the system.
I gotta answer first, guys. We have a system here. My favorite map in this game is definitely canyons, because there's 2 sections of canyons. Or actually, there's more than that. Canyon is a great map because it's built up so you can actually engage whenever you want to, wherever you want to. If you're a long-range ship, you can engage in long range if you want to. There's blue spawn, there's red spawn, there's plenty of areas where you can actually do that kind of, not hyper range, but long range.
Yeah.
And then you have the middle canyons where you can do all these kind of crazy plays. It's like, if you're a close range ship, you have a chance against long range. You have a chance against anyone because it's such a balanced game. There's a lot of clouds, there's a cover, you can do anything you want to. It's a really tactical map. I love it.
okay, so now Brick.
I think probably fjords. I mean, there's just incredible scope for vertical movement. I mean, we've seen in kind of Glow Water Falls games how they use that so well and kind of come in through the clouds and do the rope-a-dope Kansas City shuffle action. And there's also like lots of great scope for kind of sniping as well. And it's just a really pretty map. I love fjords. It's great.
And you, Curly Cooper?
Well, as I shouted out in the meeting, I like Dunes, which is probably the least liked map in the entire community, but I like it because I feel it puts the ability for a pilot to dodge incoming fire to the biggest test out of anything. If you run, Mercs, Artemises, or Lumberjack builds, if you want to win in a sniping match on Dunes, it's all about how well you can dodge the enemy incoming fire while maintaining your arcs and giving your gunners the best chance to take out their components and shut them down at a range and finish the job. And that's what I enjoy most of all.
Okay. Okay, so the next one would be what's your favourite maps and why?
Just did that one.
Okay.
Favorite ships.
Favourite ship. You got one, Rathburn?
I have indeed a favorite ship. Every pop match, I feel most confident with the Goldfish because it's my waifu, basically. I feel like the Goldfish is it's a support ship, definitely, but it's the equivalent to the Promethean, and it's just such an average ship. You can do whatever you want to with it. You can be a close range fighter. You can be a melee. You can go up long range. You can sit with the flak, and it can do what you want to with it. Really, you can buff it up. You can do all that stuff. But most importantly, it requires a specific mindset where you're not the bloodthirsty marauder that just goes into the kill. You're sitting back, you're being tactical, you're thinking through it, because if you do a wrong turn, you're going to be very screwed of it. Also because the way I look at it is like a samurai. It's going to sound very nerdy and weeaboo, but it has a front side. That's all there is to it. If you don't have your front on the enemy, then you're boned. That's all there is to it. But however, if you do it, you're graceful, you can do whatever you want to.
Okay, so Brick?
If you put a gun to my head, then I'd probably say the Junker. Yeah, there you go. I'd probably say the Junker because I mean it is just so versatile and there's so much you can do with it. I mean, and I just love trifectas. Just kind of the fine art of lining up a trifecta and all the different possibilities of trifectas you can have. And not only that, but like I mean, just how you can dodge and zip around and use tar and really dogfight with it, as well as kind of using so many interesting different combinations: long range, short range, medium range. Junk is a very good ship.
Okay, Halo Gab?
I also prefer the Junker over every other ship because building off of what Brick said with the trifecta, I feel that the diagonal movement to maintain that trifecta on the Junker is very conducive towards flanking, which I feel is a very important part of winning a match against a skill team, is maintaining a good flank with a ship and providing cover fire from said flank. And the trifecta and diagonal movement of the Junker, I feel, is, like I said, perfect for that.
Okay. Your favorite class?
My favorite class is pilots. I got into the game originally with my 4 friends from real life. Sorry, 3 friends. I'm my own friend as well. So, and I was the pilots. And a good friend called Quincy Scoundrel, he played the game way back when in the beta. Taught me how to play the game. And I was the pilot, of course. So the first class just felt natural to me. I didn't understand it quite well, and I got beat a lot. But eventually, I got to learn to grow to it, and now I feel most confident with issuing the orders. So, pilot's definitely my favorite class.
Okay. So we move on to Brick.
Yeah, again, pilot, and I'm very passionate about this. I really hate. No offense to anyone who does do engineer piloting, you know, puts an engineer in the captain spot, but I just, it's not right. It's not right. It's wrong. If you're a captain, then you should be a pilot and like be using all the awesome piloting tools and stuff. In my view, as a purist, that's just what I think.
I do feel there's only 1, maybe 2 ships that can take something other than the pilot in its captain spot, and one of them would be the Spiral, because if you had a sniping build, you can just set the Spiral just right, and then just hop onto a Merc or something like that. So that's one possibility, and the other possibility is it's the Galleon. So you want an engineer on the Galleon, just so you can keep the engine up, the balloon up, and possibly the hull. So just being able to manage that balloon as an engineer can be absolutely beneficial for a Galleon. But it's difficult. It is difficult because then you could only lose out on all of your
maneuverability.
Ability to maneuver. So you're going to have, instead of being able to pick the Phoenix core so you can turn faster, the hydrogen so you can get it in the air faster. Height in most games is important, and a kerosene or moonshine to get that speed. When you pick an engineer or a gunner, you can only pick one of those.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a trade-off.
I mean, I used to see the gents running with engineer, captain, Junker quite a lot as well, and they did really well for it. Fair play to them. I just feel that, if people are taking engineer, captain too often, I think the piloting class probably needs to be made a bit more powerful. But that's just my view.
Yeah. Okay, so Halo Cap.
My preferred class would have to be, I guess, engineer, because that's what I play the most. I'm not a good pilot like Rethburn and Brick are. I'm pretty rubbish at it. But engineer, it gives you, for all the obvious reasons, it gives you the ability to maintain repairs, and you can still fire a gun with your ammo. It's very basic.
So, do you guys have a favorite weapon? Why do you have a favorite?
Heavy flak. Again, I feel like the flak needs to have a huge comeback, especially for a flakfish or on other just generally in competitions or in pop matches.
Flakspire?
Yeah, a flakspire, but that works actually because in long range it's effective.
Okay.
I feel like it needs to have a comeback because you rarely see it in anything else. Back in the day, you'd always see a flakfish was actually viable. You wouldn't always see it, but it was viable. I miss that.
Okay. So Brick now.
I feel in practical terms, I mean, probably the Merc has always been a standby for me. It's always something I've kind of gone back to whenever I've been kind of unsure about the other team, because it's a really solid, consistent, strips the armor. It's just very consistent. But in my heart of hearts, I love the heavy carronade. It's just a giant shotgun. It's got boom, ka-chuck, boom, ka-chuck. And I just love getting down those balloons and spreading fires with incendiary. It's loads of fun.
Yeah, Halo?
For me, it's a toss-up between the Mercury and the Lumberjack. While I love the Mercury, and recently I've been experimenting because there was a rumor floating around that the regular ammo for a Merc is overall better than the charged ammo because of the ability to hit better, plus the higher rate of fire. It does an overall more damage over time. Now, and I've been just messing around with that, seeing what it is, and I don't know if it's conclusive or not. I just felt like giving it a try. But the Lumberjack, that gun just, it looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful when you fire it, and I just like everything about it. Being able to put a ship into the ground from across the map is pretty fun feeling.
Yeah. Okay, so the Bully Boys is an olden time organized crime gang. Al Capone went down for tax evading. What would you guys finally go down for?
Having Rathburn with us.
Yes. Well,
Okay. Public nudity while hijacking a tram in Los Angeles while playing a guitar, snorting coke, and at the same time robbing a bank.
another thing would be self-inflicted mines, or Gilder-inflicted mines, because he's trolling me. I think that's a possibility too.
Okay, what would you go down for, Brick?
Gilder's mines, quite likely.
Oh, so the mines too. Okay, alright, what about you, Halo?
Oh, I'd probably an accomplice to Rathburn at that point.
He'd be actually driving the tram while
Yeah,
I'm standing on top of it.
I'd be the one driving the tram and lining up the lines of coke for him.
Hang on, you mean you're kind of like driving along outside a line?
Yeah. We have.
Oh my god, the epic!
It'll line the street, and you just get one of those jumbo novelty straws and out the window.
Everyone has opinions about what can be done about the game.
Wrong question.
Yeah, so anyone. So naturally, we have also have some sort of ideas. What ideas do you guys want to see in the game soon?
We skipped one question, but we can go back to it afterwards.
We
I
skipped
feel
the,
like,
emerald-
yeah. So one idea I was thinking about that sounds a little bit rubbish is a new mid-range thing that emphasizes more on the like a combination of different guns so far. I was thinking more like a flaming Gatling javelin firing gun thing, which sounds really ridiculous, but it could be awesome to have, I guess, a medium gun.
Okay.
I would like to see two things. I think I'd like to see like replays. That'd be great, and also some kind of a competitive mode, right? And in this competitive mode, there'll be stuff like you can set an actual time limit. You can say the game will automatically pause when one player disconnects, or something. So there's no kind of messiness about disconnects and pauses and that kind of thing. Just kind of just a mode to just make competitive games run smoother. And I'm sure Muse has kind of got that in the pipeline one way or the other.
Okay, Halo?
Changes to the game. Well, matchmaking is coming, obviously, so I would like to see maybe I don't know exactly specifically what in terms of this concept, but maybe more expansion on the heavy guns, more, a bigger variety of some sort, maybe a long, like Rathburn was saying, a mid to long range javelin type of gun, or a heavy mine launcher type of gun. I think that would be fun if implemented correctly. You could have a heavy mine launcher that fires one massive mine, and that's
Gauss cannon.
A Gauss cannon.
Yeah,
Something
there's
like
only, there's only like 4 heavy guns.
Yes, the Carronade, Lumberjack,
there's 4
Flak,
guns.
and Hwacha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which having more heavy guns would allow the galleon to be a bit more flexible.
It would
I would think. It
definitely
would
put. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because the galleon only has 4 heavy gun slots, so the galleon can in theory take all of the heavy guns that are available in the game. So it's not really that much thinking needed for the galleon. But if there's more heavy guns, I tell you guys that, and I think someone mentioned that in the cake one. I think in my first episode, that having more heavy guns, you got to think about it more, because it's not like, okay, I just pick one of every single one.
Yeah.
Or 4 watches, which is fairly popular.
Yeah, or 4 flags as it used to be popular.
Oh.
Okay, so is there any questions from Twitch?
I believe
Does anyone have any questions?
We did skip one question though.
I had to skip a few because we were getting close to the end of the show.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's like we got 2 minutes left, so you got 1 minute, guys, to ask your questions on Twitch if you have any. If I go back to a question, which question do you want to answer?
The most memorable
moments,
moment in the
maybe?
clan.
Yeah.
Most memorable? Okay, what's the most memorable moment in the clan?
Well, obviously winning the Sky Tournament is the obvious one, but another memorable moment was when, in our game against Destructoid, Gilda committed Taracide. At the time, I was really terrified. I was like, Gilda, you sure about this? Gilda, yeah, I'm fine, Brick, I'm fine. Gilda, you sure? Yeah, I'm fine, just hide while I do it. And so Gilda kills himself with Tar, gets a fresh ship with full permahull, and the community just goes... But nobody ever did it again. Muse just fixed it anyway, so it was no big deal. But it's like, at the time I was terrified, but in retrospect, I think that was really awesome. And that's one of the reasons why I respect how just cunning Gilda is. And I think that was really cool.
I'll let you go first, Halo. Think about mine.
My most memorable moment in the clan was that time when Sir Daftwagger, one of our clan members, there was, I believe it was a match on Duel at Dawn. It was either I think it was a scrimmage on Duel at Dawn against the Gents, and I don't know if it was the Gents, but it was definitely a scrimmage on Duel at Dawn where somebody was firing mercs at his ship in the ribs, and he blocked an incoming merc shot by shooting a mine out, and the mine before it had actually deployed collided with the merc shot, and it had blocked it and saved them the permahull. It saved them from getting their hull stripped, and it allowed them to get away.
That was impressive. That's right, it was very impressive.
Yes, I believe my eyes were wide open for about 40 minutes after that. I was in disbelief.
Because mines are very hard to, not only are they very hard to hit, but they also take a long time to
deploy.
Yeah, it was in that 3-second arc of deployment where it was just kind of lingering up in the air, and it just the merc shot just collided and. It's great.
My most memorable moment was the first time I actually got into the Mumble with him, because previous to that I'd met Swizzy, which was the first contact within that group. And me and Swizzy has a drinking game. Whenever a certain line is said, we have to do a certain thing. When I came into Mumble, that had already been explained to every single team member. So I get in, and I'm forced to do a lot of things I regret the day after, but not now. And that's how I met all the people, and that's how I really became passionate about joining them.
Okay. So you got 2 questions from the Twitch chat. One is, what's your favourite food? So we're going backward orders. We'll start with Halo.
Buffalo wings, spicy buffalo wings, hands down.
Brick.
Probably fajitas. I'd say I love Mexican food.
Okay, Deathburn?
It used to be, what do you call it? It's basically, Christmas veal, I think it's called. It's basically just like pig. But now that I'm vegetarian, it's probably like vegetarian sushi.
Okay, and the next one is, why did Golden Gaze love Deathburn so much?
Golden Glade and I played Neopets together, and it was very, very passionate. It was very tense, and it bonded the best relationship ever with another mod.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds disturbingly erotic.
Hello, Gabe. Why do you think Golden Glades love Rathburn so much?
Why do I think?
Yeah, what do you think? Why did he love them?
Well, having played Neopets in the past, I can fully understand how passionate that can be, and it can build something that nothing can separate. They're bonded for life, just like, yeah.
And Brick, why do you think Golden Glades like Rathburn so much?
The word Stockholm syndrome comes to mind.
Okay, that's a good. I think that's a very good note to end the Can Corner for this week. So as we reach the end, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, like always, I hope viewers and guests have enjoyed themselves. It's cheerio from Brick, Hello Gab, and Rathburn.
Heyo.
See you later.
Next week we have having members from the Glowwater Swords with Scrimsguard and Kate McCarthy. Kate McCarthy. Oh dear.
Favourite pilots. Don't miss it.
I've been your humble host. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.